I don't think it started yet on YouTube, but hi everyone. Welcome to Geeks and Gamers Daily. Do we need to run it again? Let's run it again. Take two. Welcome into Geeks and Gamers Daily. I am one of your hosts, the very humble, the very thankful to be here, Jeremy Prime, Mage of the 199. Right, Ryan?
Right. You'd think that if you got another shot, you got 60 whole seconds to think about what you were going to say, and you still came up with that. So there you have it. It's not like a timing issue. It's not like you need more time to think about something. This is just what it is.
It's what it is. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good.
Another day, another nonsensical Hollywood story surrounding our favorite person in Hollywood, the lovely and wonderful Rachel Zegler. I'm sure that's going to go very well. But yeah, I wasn't here yesterday. I saw it was you and Jay. How'd that work out? Pretty good, I'm assuming.
About as well as you can expect. We started talking about like random, absolute nonsense. Jay eating peas because he was poor when he grew up or something. So that got us on the tangent of all the stuff that poor people eat, or like what we ate when we were poor, like off-brand cereal, Mountain Lightning, Dr. Thunder, all of that kind of shit.
Dr. Thunder is amazing back in the day. Like I felt like I had special intel when I found out about Dr. Thunder, and I would tell people about it.
They're like, hey, here's a slightly shittier but cheaper brand of soda. You're like,
yeah,
this.
And it felt and it felt good to tell people about it because it tasted better when it was cheaper. You're like, I can get more of them.
See, it's funny because me and Jay had this talk, and it feels like the exact opposite. It's like, yeah, it tastes okay, but you also feel like shit because you're fucking poor, right? Like getting great value brand sodas and peanut butter and cereal or whatever, it makes you feel like you're a lower class. It's a status thing.
Nah, man.
It's okay, but yeah.
Nah, it felt good. It felt good to Dr. Thunder, man. I felt good about it. I was like, I can get like two for the price of one. Yeah.
One Dr. Pepper.
Hell yeah. That was great. So in Alabama, right up our alley, So you can get two Dr. Thunders for the price of the overpriced, high quality, elite status Dr. Pepper. That's kind of how we viewed it. So when we see people drinking Dr. Pepper, and we view them as like elite status, they were like
those rich people.
Look at those rich
Dr.
people.
Pepper.
Yeah. They were like the special people on the Titanic, and so that's kind of how we looked at it. So yeah, some people don't even know what Dr. Thunder is. Dr. Thunder.
Went over this yesterday, and I even showed a picture to everybody of what Dr. Thunder was yesterday. It is the Walmart brand, kind of great value brand, whatever you want to call it, the Walmart brand of Dr. Pepper. It's like syndicated Dr. Pepper, right? And it's called Dr. Thunder. Mountain Lightning is their, cheap ass brand, their Walmart brand of Mountain Dew. So for a couple rough years, I had to stomach Mountain Lightning.
Hell yeah.
Worst times of my entire life.
Yep. That like Mellow Yellow was really big back in the day, and I felt like it was going to make a run to compete with Mountain Dew, but it kind of fell off. Like for a while,
good, but Mellow Yellow's been around a long time though.
They had a cherry, I think it was a cherry Mellow Yellow. I haven't seen it forever, but that was so damn good.
So
but nothing beats
Code Red.
Nothing beats Game Fuel Mountain Dew. Game Fuel Mountain Dew is the GOAT. With the Halo, I think it was Halo Reach or something like that. When they had the Halo campaign for Game Fuel, that was the best Mountain Dew drink ever. I don't think they still have like the cherry. It was like a cherry Mountain Dew Game Fuel. Do you not remember that?
Code Red is the shit. Like Mountain Dew Code Red is awesome. That brings me back to like Xbox days, to be honest. I still prefer the original, right? The original Mountain Dew, but Mountain Dew Code Red, you also can't go wrong with that. That's really fucking good.
Do you not remember the Game Fuel, the Halo Game Fuel?
I don't know if I remember if you show me a can, I might recognize it, but
it was 20. I only remember the 20-ounce drinks. Let's see, right here, I've got one. So this was Mountain Dew Game Fuel, and it was the greatest thing ever right here. Bro,
what did it taste like?
It was like there was a cherry flavor to it. So it was like a cherry Mountain Dew-esque flavor to it, and it was so good, man. It was so good.
Have you ever had Code Red?
I like Code Red, but Game Fuel's better. Game Fuel was better than Code Red. I like Code Red for sure. Yeah, chat remembers.
Somebody said they missed Surge. Surge, as of a couple years ago, I guess this is like 5 years ago when I lived in Virginia, and that was when Surge had almost completely disappeared. There was a handful of stores that still did stock Surge, and one of those was the Wawa on my way to work. I used to pick up 2 16-ounce cans of Surge on my way into work every day.
Yeah, Surge. I don't remember drinking Surge that much, but I worked at a grocery store when Surge was a thing, and I remember the rep for Pepsi gave us these bright green Surge jackets, and it was just like they were the ugliest things ever, but we wore them like we were the coolest people, and we couldn't figure out why we couldn't get chicks with our Surge jackets on. It was pretty embarrassing. It was pretty.
What would RFK Jr. think of us salivating over these energy drinks that are just full of all these dyes and all this other stuff?
The look on his face on that picture where they're all eating McDonald's, he just looks like he wants to die. It's the greatest picture ever. But yeah, there you go. So reminiscing of the old days back in the Game Fuel days, which was the best.
RFK, don't tell me I can't poison my fucking body. I'll poison if I want to. All right.
My body, my choice. Is that what you're going with?
Exactly. Don't fucking listen. Don't take away all these things that I love. I remember when Wendy's changed their fries to try to make them more healthy. Guess what? Wendy's fries became shit. All right. I don't want the same things to happen to some of my other favorites.
There we go. I'm not loving it. He looks so uncomfortable in that picture.
I'm gonna fucking eat it.
Oh,
you've seen that clip of him talking about like on the plane. It's like like if you get McDonald's and KFC, and that's if you're lucky.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Eating absolute poison on this. I would if I was there. I definitely would have gone with probably Elon's meal, which is basically just what I get at McDonald's, which is nuggets, and usually I just do a couple double cheeseburgers because they're obviously cheaper than quarter pounders with cheese. But that's what Elon had: quarter pounder with cheese and 10 nuggets.
Big Mac with extra cheese. They only put one piece of cheese on the Big Mac, and it pisses me off.
Well, I mean, that's how I feel about the McDouble, okay? The McDouble is dog shit. And literally the only difference is that extra piece of cheese. Double cheeseburgers, I miss the fucking day, okay? I miss the day when double cheeseburgers were on the dollar menu. Let's make McDonald's great again. Not by fucking beef towel in the fries or whatever. Congratulations. Okay. I love McDonald's fries the way they are. I don't care if it's poisoning my body. I'll eat the fuck out of it. Doesn't matter. What I miss is miss me with this fucking beef towel shit. What I miss is going there, getting a double cheeseburger for $1. I used to order 5 double cheeseburgers constantly. I'd fucking throw in there, order 5 double cheeseburgers. No fucking problem. Now double cheeseburgers are like,
got to take out a loan to get 5 of them now.
It's like $3.69 or something for a double cheeseburger. If you order it from DoorDash, it's like $4.29. It's crazy. And because it started with the cheese, they were like, well, cheese is getting a little more expensive, guys. So we had to raise the price of our double cheeseburger to like $1.39. So they made a new menu item called the McDouble that they sold for $1 that only had 1 piece of cheese. And it's crazy how much that 1 piece of cheese matters, because McDoubles, dog shit. Don't fucking want it. But give me double cheeseburgers all day. Add mac sauce too.
And I hope that part of making America great again and making America healthy again, I hope that part of that is bringing back the themed McDonald's instead of the bank vault that they are now. Now, I know you personally don't care about that. That, to me, is a crucial element. Give us the red roof back at Pizza Hut. Bring back Toys R Us to America. These are key elements to the culture. We need the cultural relevance of these places and these designs. I hate going into a McDonald's right now. I hate it.
The red roof doesn't matter to me. I love that iconography. I love the red roof Pizza Hut. But really what you need to bring back is fucking dine-in Pizza Huts. Pizza Hut buffets.
The buffet.
So I don't care what the building looks like. I care about
think
what's
they're connected.
inside the building.
I think they're connected.
In the same way that I don't really care about what's on the outside of McDonald's. I care if the dumb motherfuckers working there fuck my food up. That's all that matters to me. So it doesn't matter if you make it pretty again, if you do all this stuff. If there's still retards working there, it's not going to change a thing from me.
They're connected. They're connected. If you cared about the exterior and the interior of the place and how people's perception of it was, you would care about what's inside there and the people that you are serving your food. It's all connected, in my humble opinion. But we should probably talk about some pop culture things and read some super chats. By the way, we're doing an extra hour on locals today. So doing that this Tuesday and Friday of this week, extra hour on locals. We should have saved all the food discussion for that, probably, Ryan.
I'm just thinking about what if Trump fucked up my order? Like, what if I'm going through McDonald's, Trump's sitting there working, he fucks it up? I feel like I'd have to yell at him. I would. I don't care if it's your first day on the job.
He would make you. He would make everything okay. He would charm you out of it. He would apologize. He would make it right. He'd give you extra fries. I guarantee
something like that, then that would make me feel better about it.
Yeah, he would 100%. He would 100% make you feel better about it. I mean, he says like it's like a skilled trade. You know,
I heard him. Yeah,
he was talking about how tough it was and how man, this is a really hard job. Yada yada yada. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild. You know, 16-year-olds who are high as fuck are able to do the job okay. Yeah, it's highly skilled, in-demand position. Moving the fries up and down when the computer beeps at you.
Oh, man. I'm trying to find that clip where he talks about how hard it is to work the fryer. You're like, no, it's not, Trump. It's really not hard at all.
Well, and that's just him ingratiating himself,
I know,
right? And it's how, like, I fucking laugh at it, obviously. But it's how this guy who is lives a life that none of us can possibly understand or relate to. It's how he's able to convince people that he understands what you're going through, and he becomes relatable to those people by doing little things, as small as it may seem, little things like that.
Yep, absolutely.
Jeremy's gay for $1. Thank you, President Trump. Thumbnail privileges revoked, says Maddening.
Yeah, I saw a few people not happy with your thumbnail today, so... Is it because you got Whoopi? Probably because Whoopi's on there.
Okay.
It's not a good decision.
I'm going to talk about fucking Whoopi in the mainstream media. I wanted a picture of her looking ugly as shit.
They need fat
You're
material.
right here, aren't you?
They need fat material.
Well,
we have a very respectable crowd.
Aim for right between Rachel Zegler's eyes. Eric Stratton. Starship launch at 2 p.m. Eastern today. Second time trying to catch first stage with robot arms. Maybe Trump will be there in South Texas. Starbase.
He is reportedly supposed to be there today for the launch. So we'll see if they cover that, and maybe I'll cover it. I don't know. Probably won't have time because we got Tuesday night's main event. So we'll see.
Mad Max for 2. Got my flex cap on Friday. Hail the 199 Mud Club.
Let's fucking go.
What's the Mud Club?
It's another Cobra Cast meme. Do you want me to explain it?
Does it have to do with shit in your pants?
Not quite.
Okay, I'm good then.
It has to do with hot chicks mud wrestling.
Stephen De Leon for 5. Hashtag Bills Mafia. Hashtag shout out West Texas. Fuck Interstellar. Hi, Ryan's hair. Thanks, Stephen.
Damn.
Eric John Pizza Artist for 19. Remember OK Soda? Disgusting.
OK Soda.
Is there a brand called OK, or are you just saying that?
Yeah.
Soda was okay.
I don't remember that. I'm not familiar with that one.
Well, Jeremy's from an area where everyone calls everything Coke in all likelihood, so he might not have heard a lot of brands out there.
That is true.
DJ Jimmy LaRue. What's up, fellas? Hail from West by God, Virginia. Hail to the 199. Thanks, Jimmy. Honey Badger for 5. Ryan, would you rather be old or drink off-brand soda? I'd probably rather drink off-brand soda, I suppose. if I didn't have to tell anybody about it. Jeremy is gay for 2. Jolt. I remember Jolt.
I remember Jolt.
Tobias Nexus did a stream of Forever Winter last night with Red and saw both the most hilarious and most terrifying things. We watched Tank AI freak out and do backflips, but also ran across a Mother Courage.
What do you think about that name, Red?
You know exactly what I think about it. Like, at least Tobias goes by his actual name, Tobias. I assume Nexus is probably not his last name, but Tobias is an actual name. Red is something you call a fucking dog. So I assume your friend is either a dog or a fox or something and goes by the name Red. Which
that's the first thing I thought when you mentioned Red.
I judge it every time I see it. He and Red. Red. Being Fluffy.
Red is actually like there's people that are named Red.
There are, but that's kind of an old fucking thing, right? Like, when's the last time you heard of somebody named Red that wasn't 70 fucking years old?
Yeah, I mean,
maybe Tobias is playing Forever Winter with a 70-year-old man. That would be equally as strange in my mind, but maybe he's playing with Gary.
Oh man.
B-Chain for 5. Vault was the best soda I had as a kid, and it just vanished. My grandparents would have a 12-pack for every weekend I'd stay over. Great memories.
Memories are the best.
I remember the Vault days for sure. Paging Dr. For 5. Good morning, everyone. Russia just announced they're preparing for a nuclear response to the Ukraine-U.S. missile attacks. But anyways, let's talk gaming. That's what we're here for.
That's what we're going to do. I'll probably have a Cobra Cast later tonight. Get into all that.
ENH, it's the A teams. Let's go. Oh, Jeremy here too, I guess. Thanks, Ian. Golden nuggets for £2. I hear pork wallets are quite tasty. Can be. Occasionally not, but Project Taco, member for 9 months. I hope Make America Healthy Again brings back McDonald's beef tallow fries instead of chemical bullshit fries we get now. I have no problem with the current McDonald's fries.
I don't either.
Fucking love them. I fucking love them. I don't care if they clog my arteries. I don't care if they're bad for me. I don't care if they taste good, and that's all that matters.
But to be fair, you're ready to exit this earth in the next 10 years, so...
Yes, but like I'm like, listen, anytime you go to a fucking fast food place, period, you are like willingly deciding to put something that you know is not good for you, right? Like you're deciding to consume that. So
I do agree with your overall. Like I don't want McDonald's fries to change either. They're the best part of McDonald's. Like good McDonald's fries are the best fries. You cannot compete with them. If they're healthy. If they're fresh, then you can't beat them. They're usually not fresh, though. That's the problem.
That's a personnel issue. I am Warwolf for 5. Sony are monopolizing more anime. They're trying to buy Kadokawa, which is a massive IP publisher for tons of properties in anime, manga, and novels. Don't they own From Software as well?
I think they're trying to.
Well, I think Kadokawa, I believe, is like
okay.
that, which would be.
Yeah.
I've heard that this morning. I don't really know too much about it. I don't know how much that would cost for Sony to get. I have no idea, but I did see that.
That's got to be a big purchase for them.
Magnum Norse for 10. I feel like I'm retarded for listening to people talk about cheese at McDonald's, but I love it.
That's why you're here every day, buddy. We know how it is.
That's right. Somehow you guys keep coming back. Jeremy likes to wash down his ding-dongs with Dr. Thunder. Then he gives himself an enema with Mountain Lightning.
Roll Tide.
Cole Hauser for 20. Hail Ryan and Jeremy. Jeremy, thanks for recommendation for Criticless. Posting like crazy on there. Yes, gave Snake Eyes a bad one. Jeremy, favorite part of Dead Man on Campus. Hail the 199 Yojo Prezara.
Yeah, you posted about Dead Man on Campus, and I saw that. And I'm like, dude, I haven't seen that movie in forever. So you triggered me wanting to watch it again. That's got Zach from Saved by the Bell in it. Have you ever seen Dead Man on Campus?
James Vander. Is that James? What? No, that's not James Vander.
Here, let me.
What's that actor's name?
Isn't that well? Mark Paul Gosselaar is
That's it.
Yeah. He's in it, and so I haven't thought about that movie in forever. And here we go, right here. So he posted about it. I'm like, dude, I haven't seen this movie in forever. I want to watch this movie again. So yeah. So I mean, I did you watch Saved by the Bell growing up?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So that was just like. That was a constant for people like us to watch Saved by the Bell. So then Zach Morris stars in this movie, and I remember it from back in the day. So yeah, Cole Hauser posted about it. So I'm hopefully, I don't know. I don't own it. I don't know how old this movie is. What is this movie? 20, 30 years old. So
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen it.
But I want to watch it again.
Does he die?
You'll have to find out.
I'm not watching it.
These guys are in college, and it's a whole thing. So it's just a cheesy movie from back in the day that I very much enjoyed. I bet if people watched it now that have never seen it or have no attachment to it, it probably comes off as cringe. But I remember enjoying the hell out of it.
Over on locals, hey Ryan, is from Mo Zamboni. Hey Ryan, being from Indiana, you know Faygo is kind of ghetto, but had the best flavors of all time. I do remember Faygo.
Faygo.
Yeah, look at all this too. He's got all the here. I'll show you.
I remember Faygo.
Look at that.
Yep.
Firework, peach, cotton candy, orange, pineapple, orange, cream soda.
I remember vaguely. I remember people getting made fun of that drank it back in the day because it sounded so gay. But people really enjoyed it. I don't remember drinking Faygo, but I remember people getting called certain words for drinking it.
Yeah, you can think of some pretty easy insults for that.
Yes.
General Duality for a buck. Hail, I received my FlexFit hat yesterday. Looks dope.
Glad you guys are finally getting them. I apologize it took so long, but at least everybody's getting them and they're happy with them. So that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Nader's Briggs for a buck. Those elites in Alabama. You can tell them by the extra addition to their trailers and cars that actually have wheels on them. Hail the 199. Nader's Bricks. By the way, happy birthday month, Ryan. Gary on his stream yesterday requested we should wish that to you this month.
It's Ryan's birthday month. He likes to celebrate his birthday month. He likes to know that he's getting a year older. It makes him feel very happy, very motivated, and very positive.
Pat for a buck. RFK Jr. is going to ban all Ryan's favorite foods. He pretty much is. Fucking dictator, totalitarian, removing all my the things I love to eat, all the unhealthy dog shit that I like to eat, trying to take it away from me.
Have you guys? I know I don't know if you talked about on Daily. I know you made a video about Red One. How much money is that movie going to lose?
Well, here's the thing. So it's a $250 million budget movie.
Mm-hmm.
That was originally. Like Amazon greenlit this to go on their streaming service. And then a decision was made, hey, we might as well release this in theaters. From my understanding, $100 million in marketing went into marketing for this movie, specifically for theatrical release. So it's made $50 million internationally in 2 weekends. It made $32 million domestically. Who knows what it'll end up at? Will it have any pull over the holidays? Because it is a Christmas movie. I don't know. But it's kind of tough because it's one of those movies where what a fucking retarded idea to give Chris Evans and Dwayne The Rock Johnson $250 million for a holiday action movie for a streaming service, right? Like that was the idea in principle. So by just releasing it in theaters, even if it doesn't make money at the box office, I suppose they are recouping some of that money that they would have just fucking straight up lost. But it's kind of tough to determine. If you're just looking at it from a theatrical release, yeah, it's going to lose a shit ton of money.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the Criticless, page pulled up, and it's got a 53% collectively from people so far. I don't think people are hating this movie that have actually seen it. I think that people have this idea that Dwayne Johnson and Chris Evans are movie stars. We know for a fact that Chris Evans is not a movie star. There's an argument to be made that The Rock is, but I don't think he's the movie star that Hollywood thinks he is or that the media portrays him as. And that's really what this comes down to. I mean, Chris Evans, has he done anything outside of Captain America that would be deemed a success at the box office? I can't think of anything.
You're talking about since he was in the MCU or whatever?
Yeah.
Probably not.
He has nothing. He has absolutely nothing.
The thing with The Rock is, and people need to start getting this shit out of their head, the $250 million budget movies, very few movies, period, are going to be able to make money on something like that. Now, when you have The Rock with his, like, I don't know, fucking skyscraper and his weird, is that fucking, was it a gorilla movie?
Rampage.
Yeah, Rampage.
Rampage actually enjoyed I enjoyed the hell out of Rampage.
Like, if you're making movies like that and you're getting $400 million of the global box office, $450 million, something like that, and you're only spending 125 million, that's reasonable, right? You can make money on that. That's bankable. But if you're talking about something that's not attached to anything else, something that's original idea, the idea of a $250 million budget for something like this, when you were never going to release in theaters, you're just going to put it on streaming. It's insane. Mm-hmm. Like it doesn't make any possible business sense. And this is kind of in line with what we saw from Apple. Now, for Apple to make these $200 million movies to put on their streaming services, I think that's kind of a bad financial decision, period. But for them to release it in theaters before it goes to their streamer, at least that kind of makes sense. Apple's a fairly small streaming service compared to all of these other ones out there. So, okay, you can justify that, maybe using that as an advertisement as well to get people to sign up to your streamer. Prime is one of the biggest ones out there. So many people already have fucking Prime. So it's hard pressed for me to imagine that the idea of Red One releasing in theaters is going to be a good advertisement for Prime streaming service.
Yep. Yeah, this is a big wake up call for both of these guys. And but you're right. Even still, even if they are movie stars, $250 million budget, that's reserved for like your top tier Marvel movies is what a budget like that should be, reserved for, or a top tier Star Wars movie, some big tentpole film, not fucking Red One.
Yeah, things that you feel are almost a guaranteed stamp it on $1 billion, like as it goes. Even like we talked about this for fucking Mission Impossible. If you're making Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning for $280 million, you're basically guaranteeing you're not going to make money, right? Yeah. Like not a single Mission Impossible movie would have made a profit at that budget.
Yeah.
So like when you're making decisions like that, it does not make financial sense to do so. And when it comes to Red One, they probably see anything they get at the box office as just kind of, hey, that's something. So like from their perspective, if it makes $200 million at the box office, are they going to view that as a massive total flop and failure? I don't know, because they're always just planning on putting on the streamer anyway.
Well, if you guys have not, you can go over to Criticless, and it's essentially a Rotten Tomatoes alternative, but with free speech. And I really like the site. There's a Geeks and Gamers community over there. So 100% free to go over there and check it out. If you're interested, they have an app on Android and Apple, and I enjoy it. Everybody's enjoyed it that went over to the site. The site's really good. The app is really good. And you'll be seeing us over there a lot more, so make sure you check it out.
Yeah. And I mean, The Rock, obviously, you can look at some of the movies he's been in. The Fast movies, that's a franchise, right? It's not like The Rock is the reason those things became big. Now, certainly he added a lot to it, I think, when you look at the Fast and Furious franchise. Those two Jumanji movies both did really well at the box office. That is a pre-established thing, but it still felt like kind of like it's not like the idea of it having Jumanji stamped on it is what made it make $1 billion. Like,
yeah.
So you have a couple things with The Rock that are massive, big successes. More so than Chris Evans outside of the MCU, certainly.
I see some people saying you have Letterboxd, you're good. Okay, we'll see you when you get banned from Letterboxd for having a wrong opinion.
Flint AEA, Navasota, Texas, has a funeral home that was once a Pizza Hut. My aunt wondered if they could use the ovens for the cremations. I don't know. I don't think they probably burn hot enough, but maybe. Ian Carrolls, as a Pepsi rep, don't disrespect the hustle. Hey, I don't disrespect the hustle for Pepsi reps.
Oh, I worked for Pepsi. I had a route and everything. I've told the story many times. I worked spring break in the middle of summer, so I had one of those trucks where you had to go to different convenience stores, have like 35 stops a day. It was fucking brutal, dude. It is not easy in the hot sun with
getting out there with the fucking
dolly
lug. Yeah, the dolly to lug all those things in.
Yep.
People don't have a fucking good curb, so you're trying to pull it up over a fucking curb.
I've told the story many times, like spring break in summer, like I was like walking, I had my dolly, had, kicked under, had a bunch of 20 ounces. And I think I had it mixed with like 12 packs of 20 ounces. I can't remember. Maybe it was 2 liters. Fuck if I remember. But it's spring break, man. There's girls every fucking where, and like these girls in a convertible, like yelling at me. And like I look, and then as soon as I look, I hit like a little bump and it dumped the whole fucking thing over, and they just laughed and drove off. And I have never felt like more of a loser in my life. What's the worst?
As you're bending over, picking up cans.
And everybody's on the beach having fun. Hot girls everywhere. I'm sitting there as a Pepsi man just picking up dumped over Pepsis. It was the worst. I was fuck my life.
Speaking of the worst, our Kusanda son for €5. If you point your finger at Beardo, he instinctively grabs it and starts sucking on it. That's the kind of man he is. Gotta repeat that one on Tuesday nights. Pre-dawn corpse for $5. Monster tent in front of local Walmart with monster babes in bikinis. Don't let the term monster babes fool you. They were hot.
Neanderthal for 2020 for 50 says, I'm just here for the fights. We have never fought on this show. I don't know what you guys are talking about. We've never had an argument, never had a disagreement. This is an echo chamber. We agree on everything here at Geeks and Gamers. We've never had a fight on Friday Night Tights. We just agree on everything. Isn't that how it goes?
Typically, yeah. Sorry to disappoint you, Neanderthal. No fights on the horizon. Tobias for 10. I call him Red because he's a ginger. He's the normal one with a respectable job and kids. I'm the degenerate furry he befriended. Also, look up Mother Courage and tell me that isn't terrifying.
I just love how he's explaining this to Ryan, and Ryan still loses more and more respect.
Yeah, I don't believe you, Tobias. I think he's a dog.
You think he's a dog? Have you watched Cobra Kai season 6 yet? The second part?
Yes.
I got one more episode to go, so I got one more episode. What do you think? I liked it. It took a couple episodes to get going, but once a certain person showed up, it was like, oh yeah, we're rolling again, baby.
I actually enjoyed it a lot. The last episode's crazy.
Is it okay?
Wild. So I'm interested to see how you feel after that.
A lot of people were disappointed with part 1. I wasn't, but it definitely was just like a whole setup to get to where we are now.
Yes. So the thing with part 1 is, I talked a little bit about this on stream the other day. The thing with part 1 is, for the first time in the history of Cobra Kai that we've seen, now 6 and 3 or 2/3 seasons through, for the first time in history, there's no real antagonist. They are all now on the same page. They've accomplished all these things. They've gotten rid of all these outside forces who are trying to destroy them, or at least they think they have, right? So like for our characters, yes, do you have Daniel and Johnny arguing about how to train the kids? Yes, you do. But ultimately, everyone's on the same fucking side. And it's not till the very end when what happens with Tori and the big reveal that she's back with them and Kreese and everything at the Saikai Taikai. Like, it's not until then we realize, okay, now we have antagonists again. So it's just a little bit different feeling, I suppose, for those first 5 episodes.
And
but a lot of it is
up,
just set up for this moment.
Breaking it up is still, I'm not sure. We'll see if it was the right call. I mean, ultimately, it's still, from a storytelling standpoint, it's still working, because now that we're into the second part of season 6, it's definitely rolling now. You know what I mean? Definitely rolling. And these episodes are a little bit longer. They're not like 38, 39 minutes.
They vary sometimes throughout. Yeah.
But definitely, I mean, look, I love the series. I thought that 5 was just phenomenal, and I've very much enjoying 6 so far. So I'll get to the last episode today probably, and then we'll be, when's the March? Is that when the next
February or March or something?
Yeah. So and then that'll be it, right?
That's it.
What a hell of a run this has been, man. What a hell of a run.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, I think that they are going to like the results of splitting it up from the amount of people they have watching over a certain period of time. And I guarantee you just with it coming out, people are like, I'm going to rewatch the first couple episodes anyway, and like see and rewatch some of those. Like from a business perspective, I think they probably like the results of their spreading it out. But we'll see. It definitely, you're going to want to see the next 5 episodes immediately upon finishing this last episode. I can tell you that.
There we go. Damn it. Oh, well.
Cliffhanger. Kratos Raptor for 5. We need another Surge comeback. Those are the days in high school. Grabbing a Surge from the vending machine before class. Classic. Golden Nuggets. Jeremy prefers a good meaty sausage.
You guys talk more about sausage than me, by the way, in the chat. Just want to point that out. A
lot of fucking queers. Magna Norse for 5. Who is Ara? A god? Jesus? Why do we praise Ara?
A real American hero. Ryan didn't know what it stood for. To be fair, I haven't seen it spelled like that. I haven't seen it abbreviated like that really at all.
Cole Hauser, he was like, I love...
He ran out of characters, so... Yeah.
And yeah, so I said Ara. I thought he was saying Allah like a Chinese person. I didn't know. So I just said Ara and it became a meme.
Hayden Wayne for 50 says 1,500 cases a day, 30 stops, 5 days a week. Work for Coors and Budweiser. It's annoying to hear, hey, beer man, can I get a free case, right? Oh, my God, constantly. Or some variant. We had bodybuilders quit on day 1 because they couldn't hang. Delivery is rough. I agree, man. Like, it is. So you have to get there typically. I would get there like 5 a.m. You have to load your truck up the night before. So your truck is fully loaded for your stops the next day. Now, you don't load it. The warehouse typically loads it, and they have to load it. And then you have to go to each stop and unload based on, whatever the store ordered. And you're talking 30, 35 stops a day, driving all over the place, especially in the hot sun during summer or spring break. That was one of the toughest jobs I've had. Now, I was only I think I was like 20 something at the time. So it didn't really bother me at that point in time. But yeah, man, not an easy job. A fun job, paid very good, but not an easy job.
Yeah,
beer guys had it rough too. I never worked for beer company.
Yeah, at the golf course I worked at, we had the same guy that did the rod. He did it for fucking years and years, and always bring us our restock of that shit. You could tell he fucking hated his life.
Yeah, it's rough.
Kindred spirits.
What really sucked is when you would go to a golf course, because you're like, I could just be here relaxing on the golf course, and I'm working this shitty job.
Pretty much. Who needs another shitty job is Rachel Zegler.
Oh, yeah.
She definitely does, because the one she has isn't working out too well. People absolutely despise Snow White, but maybe, just maybe, they'll give her another chance over at Disney. This is a story that I saw floating around yesterday, and I had to talk about it because Rachel Zegler, quite frankly, is the talk of the town. Rachel Zegler, who has found herself mired in controversy after controversy over the past few years, ever since Disney announced her as the first Latina Snow White, and we're so proud to virtue signal over that. Didn't go over very well because Rachel Zegler can't keep her fucking mouth shut, whether it's insulting the original, whether it's divisive political messaging, or whether it's just, quite frankly, attacking Trump supporters. Rachel Zegler has just been, like, her entire career so far has just been full of backlash after backlash. And it was exactly the same with this. Now, of course, she apologized, and no one really takes that apology very seriously. But then this popped up yesterday, Jeremy. Snow White and Shazam! Fury of the God Star, Rachel Zegler, is reportedly being eyed for an MCU role.
This is not true.
Listen, this comes from Scooper, My Time to Shine. Hello. I often rage about how much I fucking hate scoopers, because like whenever you have these big announcements, like the Simon Kinberg thing that came out, where was any single fucking scooper over that story? They were nowhere to be found. They weren't present. They didn't hear about it. When all this stuff actually gets announced or happens, these major, massive announcements, somehow the scoopers didn't know anything. But it's stuff that they'll say like this: Marvel Studios wants Rachel Zegler for a role. Which role do you think she could play? Now, if I was just somebody who is looking to be in the scoop game and just throw shit out there and hope it sticks, this is the perfect thing to say. Someone who is right now in the middle of a major controversy, who you're going to get a lot of interaction when you talk about them. And if somehow this happens, you're like, look, I talked about it. I brought this up. And if it doesn't happen, what do you say? Well, there was just so much backlash. I guess they decided not to bring her in. It's bulletproof, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, this went exactly the way you would expect. Everyone in the comments laughing or saying, no, fuck no, stay away. We don't want this. We don't want this. But let's entertain it for a moment, I suppose, Jeremy. The idea of Rachel Zegler, who has single-handedly destroyed the Snow White movie for Disney. Do you think there's a shot that they want her to become part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Zero. I think there's zero chance that this is even being discussed. I think that they would stay far away from her based on what we've seen from the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the most recent phase and how they've had diminishing returns on top of diminishing returns. Obviously, the Marvels was the biggest disaster ever for them. So the answer isn't to bring in someone even more unlikable than the current women in the MCU. That is not going to help the MCU at all. Zero chances this is even being discussed by Marvel. Zero.
Yeah, if they were to do it, it would end exactly the same way we've seen with the Snow White thing. She has quickly become one of the most unlikable people in the industry. Period.
Which is an accomplishment.
It is an accomplishment for someone who is like just starting off her acting career. You know, it's not like she's been around for all that long. Plucked out of obscurity by Steven Spielberg for his West Side Story disaster that he made. And I do not think that this is something that's going to come to fruition. But if it did happen, it would be just another example of them being completely out of touch and clueless when it comes to these things. Hell, maybe there's been so many goddamn people in the Marvel Cinematic Universe they're running out of actors. I don't know. There's been a lot of people in the MCU at this point, but I have a hard time believing that there's really any validity to this.
Let me say, I absolutely hope that it's true. I just don't believe that it's true. Because I don't care about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And if they want to make a decision to bring this unlikable person into their universe after everything that's happened with the Snow White movie and how unlikable she is and how horrible of a person she is, then I'm all for that. Because I don't think Disney deserves any respect whatsoever. And I don't think that I don't want them to necessarily improve. I'm fine with them continuing to make bad decisions on top of bad decisions. Would it be nice if Disney actually returned to the glory days of Disney? 100%. Do I think that that's possible? No, I don't think that's possible at all. I don't think that they're anywhere near that happening. So, yeah, I would love the idea of this being a reality. I just don't think that it's true. I don't think there's any shot that this is even being discussed by Marvel at all.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those made up bait posts. But like easily it's like, well, guess there was too much backlash. They decided not to go with her after all.
Dude, I've had to with Twitter, I've had to mute so many fucking accounts. Those parody accounts are fucking horrible. Like the parody, political people and shit, or Elon Musk or whatever,
like Matt Wallace.
Oh no, I've muted Matt Wallace, and there's another guy, Jackson Hinkle, is that his name?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! Like these people, their rage farming is just. I've muted so many fucking people on Twitter because it's just bullshit. Matt Wallace is the guy that's got the him. Is he the one with him and Elon in the background picture with Doge?
Yes.
I have him muted. Yes,
fucking stand that dude, and and a bunch of people will believe anything that anyone tweets for some reason. I don't know why, but obviously with the Trump dance becoming such a big thing in the NFL and stuff like that, he just put out a tweet. Rumors are circulating that the NFL is going to ban the Trump dance. Literally the first time anyone has said that was him. Yeah. Him saying that. And now, of course, people are running with it. I got people in the Sports Wars comment section. Oh, did you guys hear the reports? Jesus fucking Christ. This fucking piece of it's like the Mike Zero shit.
Yeah. Yep. It's bad. It really I've muted so many people on Twitter now.
Engagement farming fucks.
Yeah, it's crazy. But hey, that's the internet for you.
Hey, what do you notice about this picture?
It's still better than Jack Dorsey's.
Taylor Swift just did this random 13-second clip. Notice anything? And it's like nothing.
It is still better than Jack Dorsey's Twitter, though.
Sure, I just fucking hate people.
Yeah, we agree. We agree.
And I hate people that believe retarded people like that.
I like how I hate people, and I hate people that believe in retarded people like that.
I do, dude. It makes me so mad. Now also become like a litmus test for me if I think you're retarded or not, based on your reaction to the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. Like this fucking 58-year-old man who could barely run on a treadmill a couple months ago, who almost fucking died and was in the hospital, who could barely walk on his way up to the ring. Clearly he would have knocked Jake Paul out. The entire thing. Fuck you.
So
all you people.
Do you feel that was a rigged fight?
I feel like it was agreed upon by both of them that, hey, nobody's going to knock each other out.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's anything that was the most staged or rigged, it's that Jake Paul didn't knock his ass out.
Yes.
Mike Tyson couldn't fucking move. If you want to talk about, it was fixed, Jake Paul went easy on him.
He did.
And if you are tricked by watching little clipped edits of Mike Tyson training, and you don't understand how different that is, Mike Tyson stumbled walking into the fucking ring. It's not 30 years ago.
He lost to Kevin McBride. He lost to Kevin McBride like 10 years ago.
Yes.
But
and that doesn't mean that I think Jake Paul's a world-class fucking boxer. He's also not like a nobody, right? He takes the training seriously. But
what I always said about this was that I never thought that the fight was real. I always thought that it was rigged to benefit Jake Paul in the long run, and arguably, I don't know, there might even be where Mike Tyson gets a small percentage of future Jake Paul cuts, because this is going to continue to elevate Jake Paul, just like the Floyd Mayweather bullshit. Like, there's no reason Floyd Mayweather wouldn't knock out Logan Paul. But anyway, if you're talking for real, if this was a real fight, which I don't think it was, Mike Tyson had maybe one round to do something. That's it. After it goes beyond anything like that, he was gassed. Never had a chance. And anybody that was thinking that Mike Tyson had a chance after that thing went beyond a round or two, no chance. But it was not a real fight. It was not a real fight.
But it's one of the greatest scams in history, because Jake Paul was able, because people want to see Jake Paul get knocked out, right? He understands that. He understands that people want to see him get knocked out. And he was able to successfully gaslight people enough to make them think that they could tune in and possibly get a glimpse of the old Mike Tyson just for a moment.
Brilliant marketing.
See Jake Paul flat on his fucking back.
Brilliant marketing. That's what it is.
Like,
the Paul brothers are.
I hate people. We'll go back to I hate people.
The Paul brothers are genius marketers. They're genius. They just are. I think Logan Paul. I said this yesterday on Cobra Cast. I have more respect for Beyonce than Logan Paul. Like, that's how I can't stand Logan Paul. I think he's the worst of the worst. But my gosh, that dude is talented as hell when he's like in professional wrestling and all the things he does. His talent is stupid. Jake Paul is more likable than Logan, but they're both unlikable. But their marketing is genius. And you're right about that. Jake Paul knows that everybody hates him and everybody wanted to see him get knocked out.
Yeah.
And he made people believe that there was a chance that could happen.
Yes. I didn't tune in during the fight because I knew what this was going to fucking be. It should have been crystal clear to everyone. And Jake Paul didn't want to be the guy that knocked out Mike Tyson, right? Standing over a man who could barely walk in the center of the ring with his hands raised. He didn't want to be that guy. So if you want to talk about where the fix was, it was by Jake Paul not actually going after him when it was clear Mike had nothing left.
Yep. Nothing. Prime Mike Tyson is one of the greatest athletes you'll ever see in that short 5-year period or whatever it was. But Mike wasn't like, once a fight went beyond the first few rounds, Mike wasn't like you know what I mean? Wasn't the same fighter. And that was when he was in his prime. He very rarely went beyond a few rounds. I think Buster Douglas was the 10th round knockout, if I'm not mistaken, when Buster Douglas knocked him out.
But did these people watch the Roy Jones fight that they did like 4 or 5 years ago? Like, look at that. Add 4 years and like a couple medical emergencies later. And this is what you get. Like, I shit you not. I have this. For all the people that are clipping together these, oh my gosh, look at these 2-minute snippets of him in training while sparring with a guy who he knows exactly what he's doing, and they're going through combos. This don't look like the same person. This is one of the things you have to worry about when you're fucking 58 years old. This is a couple months before this fight, by the way.
Killing you, huh?
He's an old man. He's an old man.
So thank you. Like, thank you for sharing your fucking sparring clips. Why wasn't this the guy we saw? This is who he is. Okay. And it's like all the people that are tweeting that shit out right now, I think you're one of the dumbest people in the fucking world. I, in general, hate it when people that never watch sports or talk about sports suddenly decide to tune in and give their fucking crazy thoughts about it. I hate that in general. But holy fuck, man.
But the thing is,
it's okay. People get old. That's why I don't want to get old. That's why I want to die before I turn 50.
Listen, you did get that Mike Tyson. The first round, you saw that Mike Tyson. He was throwing punches. He was moving. He was shaking. That's all he had. He had a round. You can argue maybe he had a half a round in the next round. You saw it. And after that, it was over. There was nothing left for him to even pretend that he could be in the ring at that point in time. He showed you what he had in those sparring sessions that are being clipped together. You saw him.
Prescriptive movements. Everyone knows what happens. Yes.
Yep. So there you go.
Like, that's just it. So I'm sorry. So many people are still in denial about results that they don't like. But there you have it. Let's see. Hickory chip. For as much as McDonald's charges, they should start using better fucking ingredients. I think it tastes good. Pat for $2. G&G pay-per-view. Taco Bell mukbang. Ryan versus Epic Mike. I would destroy Mike. Nader's Briggs for $1. With Thanksgiving coming, does that mean the Beardo is the G&G turkey with chicken legs and stuffed with bananas? I don't know. Eric John Pizza Artist for $2. Zegler and Stenberg in Thelma and Louise reboot. Talk about a satisfying ending. Let's see. Green Dragon says Golden Nuggets.
That was funny. Gaming stream.
Pre-Dawn Corpse. Fuck you. Thank you. Diz the Spear Chucker Union Local 4547. Just want to hear you say it. Well, there you go. John Kennedy for $5. Shout out to RC Cola.
I remember, yeah, RC Cola. Those are, you still see them occasionally.
Let's see. Chris B. Every now and then I find myself longing for the return of Dr. Slice. Easily the best Doctor variant, in my opinion.
I remember Dr. Slice, but I don't know if I ever tried it. I remember seeing it in stores.
I'm not familiar with Dr. Slice. Russian Lollipop 5. I prefer Ryan and Jay to Ryan and Jeremy, an inbred homosexual. Also, just got my tickets to Trump's inauguration. Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
Darth Manic for $5. Faygo is really popular in prisons. Inmates always get them in their canteen orders. I don't know anything about that. Knee pain. My dad is grouchy, stubborn, and eats like shit, but death won't want him and made it to 70 after 12 heart attacks and a stroke. Whew. Watch Ryan have the same fate because life is unfair.
That's right.
Probably. Shadow saying for 10. Let's just have a Tuesday night main event where Leia hosts the show. It'll make more money.
She made an appearance last night. First time in a long time, actually.
Little cameo.
Yep.
Magnum Norris. My projectile vomit looks like pineapple Faygo.
I don't think I've ever tried Faygo. I don't think.
I certainly wouldn't have had a pineapple one.
No, no, you got to be. You're a psychopath if you drink pineapple or eat pineapple on pizza. You're just a psychopath. That includes you, Gary. By the way, for Orlando, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if there's some like alcoholic drink that happens to have pineapple mixed with a couple things, I consider that, but that's about it.
For Orlando, I've talked about this already on a few streams, but we are doing MegaCon and we're doing our fan meetup just like we did last year. And I am 95% sure the fan meetup is going to be either Friday or Saturday. We're just trying to work out some details. It will be at the same location generally that it was last year for those of you that, were there. So we're working out all the details right now. And there's going to be a lot of your favorite content creators will be there. And I'll get that list of people hopefully here in the next couple of weeks. But we can't pin it down right now, mainly because the location we were at last year is available. But there's another one that could be better based on what we're trying to accomplish. So that's why it's like 95% sure. So we're still just trying to pin it down. But Friday or Saturday, that weekend of MegaCon is when our fan meetup will be.
Renown Course 10 says Green Dragon. Thank you. PG Beller, or Derek PG Beller, government shouldn't be banning food. Bad precedence. Hey, there you go. Cole Hauser, The Rock killed G.I. Joe with The Rock. They basically destroyed the chain of command for retaliation. It goes Flint, Lady J, then the Roadblock.
Yeah, when you knew when The Rock showed up in that movie, he was going to dominate everything. And of course, that movie flopped just like most of Rock's movies flops. We talked about this before, but has he made any movie where he as a star just carried the movie without it being tied to anything? Like obviously the Fast and Furious movies, he helped elevate those. Jumanji was a huge hit, but that was a lot of nostalgia tied to a pre-existing franchise.
I guess. I don't know if nostalgia over Jumanji leads to $1 billion at the box office necessarily. Let's see. So, like, again, Rampage, that's a video game. But I don't know if it was that got people there. He was part of that. Skyscraper, I guess. I don't think that did great. You know, I think Skyscraper probably, I don't know, $350 million. But there's a couple things that are out there. But obviously the most successful things are things that are tied to other shit.
Mm-hmm. I just don't like, he's a star because he's a big name. And he's obviously, arguably, you could say Rock, and I'm not going to open this discussion right now. Rock would be a top 5 name in the history of wrestling. Name. Some people would put him a little closer to the top. I wouldn't. But he's definitely a huge name. So is Hulk Hogan. So is Stone Cold Steve Austin. They don't actually, they're not movie stars either, but they're names that people know. But if they were put into the same similar roles as Rock, there probably would be this idea that they are a big star, when in reality, they're not. They're just not. They can't turn box office movies on name alone, and The Rock can't either.
Well, we've gone over all this a lot. There's very few people who can, just from them being involved in a movie, make something successful. Even a lot of guys that we view as these biggest stars have fucking flops and shit in their history. No, I agree. I guess the problem is that the perception is The Rock is that guy, and I'm just saying he's not. Like, there's a lot of people that think that Rock is a legitimate movie star that is like Arnold of the 80s or Sly of the 80s and 90s. He's just not. But nobody is really outside of Tom Cruise. Right. I still think you have to put him in there when people look at this stuff, probably in terms of recognizable names. A guy who's viewed as a friendly brand. I think that's a big deal to people as well. Like in general, he's probably up there in like the top 5 actors that you would consider as bankable.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you can just cast him and everything will suddenly work. But like, I think that's the way he's perceived. And I don't know if that's an improper perception or not. I think that might be an accurate perception based on the list of people we have and their histories.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And by the way, we are doing an extra hour on locals today. By
We're
the
gonna
way,
finish through these super chats and we're gonna go on locals.
Yep.
Benology, Jeremy, you're gay. Please check your XTMs.
I did. Fuck you.
Divine Matrix, my dad used to call Fago the gamer word. Was hilarious if you knew my dad. Hail 199. Jerry D. Sills becomes a member. Thank you. Ryan Simp, I wish for 199 says hi, Ryan. Hello. Magnum Norse for 5. I was going to insult Ryan, Muffin Top, but I realized that Queerdo is a vagina. Thank you. Taker for 5. What if George had made the sequels based on ideas he gave Disney and Disney made the prequels instead? Would Star Wars be any better? That's like too difficult.
Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot to break down right there.
A lot of big changes.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's not a very simple question to answer.
Cole Hauser, Magna Norse, go to G&G Clips. Praise our
That's right.
Bonesaw is ready. If the scoop on Zegler somehow true, congrats to Gina on winning her lawsuit. Zegler's muffin was reported by anonymous sources to be on sale for $100. When investigative reporters questioned Fillmore Slim about it, he said, "It ain't matrimony, it's macaroni." Thanks. Zegler probably won't have another role with Disney after how she's already killed Snow White before its release. Weird on Corpse, Ryan, check out I Hate People by the Anti-Nowhere League. Also their classic So What, especially for the lyrics for So What. Look them up. I Hate People by the Anti-Nowhere League. I will check it out, Pre-Dawn Corpse. McManager, Jeremy admitted to muting my parody account.
Not yours. No, I'm talking about like all these like there's a Melania Trump one that always shows up, or there's an Elon Musk one that always shows up,
There's
and it has
Barron
like hundreds
Trump
of.
one.
There's a Barron Trump one, and they have hundreds of thousands of fucking likes, and people, because of how Twitter makes you put parody account at the end of the name, that it just shows up and it looks like a real account because it's got the blue check mark, and I'm like, fuck these accounts, man, I can't deal with it.
A parody Mark Hamill, well, fake. I should say impersonator Mark Hamill Blue Sky account got like 100,000 followers over on Blue Sky.
So is that not Mark Hamill?
There is a real one. He's got
Okay.
like 300 or 400,000, but there was a like legit fake one that got 100,000 after like 3 tweets or something or whatever they call them over there.
Yeah.
Hold on. And Jeanette, who won? My Netflix is still buffering. I know, right? Everyone lost. Mike's wallet did win. You know, he got paid $20 million as a 58-year-old man to show up. So I'd take it.
Yes, somebody just said parody Doge account pisses me off. Yes, there's a Doge account that essentially just acting like the official Department of Government Efficiency, and I'm like, God, another one. So yeah, I've just had to mute so many of these accounts.
Bonesaw is ready. Only person I want to see Jake Paul fight is Deontay Wilder. Wilder's done it. Heavyweight is contender anyway. Let him drop down for a bag. I would like to see Jake Paul actually fight somebody, and I think saying Deontay Wilder's kind of crazy because I don't think he's in that class. But it would be nice to see Jake Paul fight somebody who's, you know, 30th ranked boxer in the world, like right in that area, and just see how he does. The problem is, what's in that for Jake Paul? He doesn't need to do that. Like, he doesn't need to do that. He can pull out these random guys and promote it and fight whoever the fuck he wants, and people are going to tune in just like they did to Netflix.
Well,
so
your comment is it perfectly explains why Jake Paul is Jake Paul. Like he has built the brand of going, I want everyone to hate me and want me to fight someone else, but in reality he just keeps fighting people that he knows he can deal with them. They've got a legacy, they've way past their prime, and it keeps elevating him, and it just builds and builds of this I want to see Jake Paul get knocked out at mentality. He's great at this, man. He's fantastic.
Yeah. Maddening 49's not so bad, Ryan. LOL. I'm glad it's good for you. I don't want it. Commander Keen, shout out to RK Cum Shots. Shout out. The Trillis, the real winners of the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight were the people who are smart enough not to watch that fucking buffering. Yeah. I didn't watch it because I didn't know it was gonna buffer like that, but I didn't watch it because I knew what it was gonna be. I watched it the next morning so I could fast forward through some shit. Kamala Harrison Ford for 5. I wash my collard greens in the tub on the Millennium Falcon. Thank you. Magnum Norris, watching Ryan lose his mind over stupid shit is my life sauce. Stupid shit seems to be the baseline, which makes me crazy. Stephen De Leon, 2,000 grand and 34 books for Jay, and Beardo still wouldn't battle Savvy. What a bish. Pre-down Corpse, Jeremy, Black Ops 6 tonight?
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how main event goes. I'd like to play some games tonight.
Udite, Rockstar Powers, what gave us Tooth Fairy?
Good old Tooth Fairy.
That movie was probably successful. Mike Tyson's backside. Happy birthday, Ryan and Robert Meyer Burnett. Happy birthday, RMB.
That was a wild moment.
Did you see Jake Paul's reaction to that?
Yeah, I did. That was a wild moment right there. I was like, what is happening?
Jason Yankovic for 5. Roddy Piper was the one true wrestler turned movie star.
Roddy Piper.
Indiana Solo. Thanks, Ryan, for the Bane trilogy recommendation. Have you heard the audiobook versions? I have, and they're fantastic. Forest Through the Trees. Thanks, Jeremy, for acknowledging my message I sent last night during Cobra Cast.
Yeah, I'll read over it and I'll follow back up with you.
Isn't he planning to fight Tate? I think Andrew Tate would love to fight him. I don't know if I don't know if Jake Paul's. There's been no accepting of any kind whatsoever.
I don't think a Jake Paul Andrew Tate fight is beneficial to. It's going to be detrimental to one of them big time, and I don't think either one of them would actually take it. I think they will talk about it and hype it up. I don't think it'll actually happen because the loss would be so catastrophic for whoever loses that fight that it would not benefit either one of them. They would both be better off just to talk shit and never have it happen.
Nutty Pyro for Buck. Speaking of the Tyson fight, what is it about a woman named Sydney? Can't quite put my finger on it. Yeah, Sydney Thompson or Sydney Thomas or whoever went viral. Yes, hot women exist. And I think we're caught up, Jeremy. We're going to continue this discussion over on Locals.
Yeah, but I want to, again, make sure everybody goes over to Criticless. You can check it out over there. I really like what they're doing. We're very involved with what they're doing. We got a Geeks Gamers community over there, and it's going to take time to build up that audience, but I hope everybody does, take a chance to at least go check it out. Everybody that's actually seen the site and been over there has seen it's really, really good. And you can do reviews from movies, and you can actually put if there's a political bias in the movie, and then it kind of, aggregates the scores just like a Rotten Tomatoes does from the users and things like that. It's a place that, believes in free speech, and it's a place for the people to have a voice. So I want to see more of you get over there. There's a Geeks Gamers discussion group. There's a fan group over there. And as you see, people are posting things like that. The idea is to add video games, a video game database in the near future, hopefully over there. I would love to see video games. If we can get video games over there, talking about a game changer of a website. So that's going to be awesome. But thank you guys so much.
Arabian Luffy for Saudi Arabian 1999. The new generation of actors needs a reminder. Actors should step away from publicly sharing political views. Kurt Russell.
Well, I mean, ultimately, if it was like the UFC, then they can share whatever opinions they want, and then the people can make up their own opinions. But that's just not how Hollywood operates. But all right, guys. So we'll see you over there for our members stream over on Locals. Ryan, take us away.
Goodbye, everyone. What do you mean? Take us away.
That was your goodbye to everybody.
Yeah, we'll see you over there.
We'll see you over there.
It'll be turned on in subscriber or supporter only mode in a couple minutes.
And once we hit 2,500 members on Locals, I'm sending Ryan to FurryCon. He doesn't think it's going to happen. And that's not a gimmick, by the way. He 100% does not think that we're going to hit 2,500 supporters over there.
I don't believe in the 199.
I think it will happen. It may take some time, but I do believe it will happen, and it's going to be awesome. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. Have a great day. We'll talk to all of you later. Be right back.